Welcome back to the Island Misfit Toy Collectors. Dreadnought Ryan here. And yes, it's June 2nd, and I'm already back again for another update. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this. So the Hasbro marketing team put out another one of their incoming transmissions on the Hasbro social sites, just calling out that they will be having, again, the next G.I. Joe Classified Haslab starting on June 2nd. It was kind of built around Cobra Commander and the Cobra higher-ups celebrating the success of how fast the His Tank was funded by all of the G.I. Joe Classified community supporters, just kind of calling out how they don't think that G.I. Joe will be as successful. These are all great type of marketing tools, and they are fun at times. I will have to be honest, though, if I can give constructive feedback to Hasbro on this. Don't celebrate past wins and trying to challenge folks the second time around. If you provide great product with great unlocks, and it's something that the fans really want at a price point that they can afford, they'll back it. The Haslab offers the opportunity for collectors to pick up an item without having to deal with either ordering it online through a retailer or dealing with scalpers, where you know that you're guaranteed to get that item once it ships out to you. After some of the issues that we've seen with the Sky Striker and with some of the other not even G.I. Joe, but Hasbro Haslabs, I think just kind of throwing out how quickly that His Tank funded may not be the right message you want to put out there. We were very excited for the His Tank as classified fans. It was a great product. It didn't disappoint. Hasbro learned from that and just give us great product that looks great. That's something that the fans want at a price point we can afford. And I'll tell you, we'll back it. Now, with all of that kind of negative stuff said, let's look at some of the positives today. Let's start with Grunt. We're finally getting to see what Grunt will look like. I do like the all-green attire, of course, with the brown accents from some of his web gear. The fact that he comes with two different rifles, an M16 style rifle, or even an AR style, but also the Sunbow-inspired laser gun. That's awesome to see this particular item included. It always makes me think back to poor Gung Ho getting his baby rifle destroyed when the Joe team was using some of that bootleg elements for their mass device. It does look like it comes with the military style helmet that Rock and Roll, of course, comes with. But then it also comes with the Steel Brigade helmet that we saw with the 50th and 30th anniversary of the G.I. Joe 4-inch line, which makes basically Grunt into a green shirt army builder. I know there have been a lot of folks calling for the green shirt army builders. I was never truly a fan of the green shirts because, to me, the individual members of G.I. Joe are what made it special to me. But I understand how you'd want to have those green shirts to build out your troops, especially when Cobra has so many different troop builders. I think this Grunt figure will be a pretty successful addition to the Joe team, as well as adding some shelf fodder for some of those troop builders as well. It's nice to see the backpack has those two pegs, which look like you'll be able to carry all of his accessories. For the Crimson Viper, if you remember back to the G.I. Joe Collector Club, they did come out with a Crimson set, which had, of course, the Crimson Twins and the Baroness. I believe they had the Vipers in there as well, too. We also know that one of the G.I. Joe Fan Fest type, either San Diego Comic-Con or the Hasbro PulseCon, will have the exclusive of the Crimson Twins and Baroness. Seeing the Crimson Viper just makes sense for that edition. For folks that are big Viper fans, this is another figure that you can add in. It is a strict repaint of the Vipers that we've already seen. I do like the coloring on the Crimson Bat as well as the Crimson Guard, so I think this will fit in quite nicely with your collection as well. Now, some of the commenters in some of my past videos did call out, this is going to be an expensive month. We have seen some of the great photos of that folks have been sharing of the Mezco Destro and the amazing things that he comes with. Well, Mezco announced that the pre-order for Firefly has popped up as well too, and this figure does not disappoint either. I love the way that this Firefly looks. I personally can't go down that Mezco hole because I don't know if I could survive it. But for the folks that do appreciate these particular figures, these are a nice high-end addition for any G.I. Joe fan. You get tons of accessories, tons of hands, different head sculpts so that you can stylize these figures, put them on your shelf, take great figure photography photos, have soft good and cloth. Just an amazing addition to the G.I. Joe collection. I like that Hasbro has figured out that licensing out some of these internal IPs is a great way of helping their fans find figures that they've always wanted. This includes Super 7. I know there's some folks out there who are fans of the reaction, some folks that aren't, but I think it is cool if you do look at these reaction figures. I think it's one of those things almost like a Funko Pop to me. They look great in the packaging. You can set up a really amazing display, hanging up all the different card arts with them, but they are going to bring out the Tiger Force and Python Patrol. The majority of these figures look like just repaints of the reaction figures that we've already seen. So if you are a fan of reaction, go ahead and check these out. They are up for pre-order on Super 7's website. This brings into something new that I want to try. I called out in my last video, doing better as a community. And in some of the comments, folks brought up, hey, I like these other type of action figure brands. So I just want to call out some of the other 1/12 scale action figures that you can pick up. Also, provide where you can find some of these figures at as well. So I wanted to start out with Sparrow Toys. This is a small manufacturer that really got most of this started off of Kickstarter. Jason from Sparrow Toys has created an amazing just world of figures that are all based off of animals. They have amazing articulation, amazing sculpting. They are truly some of the best figures that I've ever seen. Again, this is an action figure fan who figured out ways of creating his own line. These are just some of the figures that are up on Sparrow's website currently for pre-order, and then also for Wave 3. There are figures that are available now. I'm sure you've seen some of the reviews from them, but if you look at Thane, the big guy in the middle there, just absolutely amazing. Next line I want to call out, this is Fresh Monkey Fiction. For some of our 4-inch or 1/18 scale figure collectors, you guys know who Fresh Monkey Fiction is. Well, they've also started to do 1/12 scale figures now. It started off with their, I believe, the Naughty Santa line, which you had elves and Santas and a number of different type of characters, from military-themed Santas to naughty Santas to Krampuses. Well, they're bringing out a new line. It's called Monster Force. So a number of different figures that you can pick up. There are, a handful of these troop builders, which look absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for different action figures or even different brands to help build out some of your shelf, this does give you some opportunities. If you're a fan of the Red Shadows from the Action Force days, some of these figures give you that same feel to add maybe to your Skeletron or Robo Skull collections. Or if you're just a fan of 1/12 scale military themed and monster themed action figures, go ahead and check these figures out. They are on Big Bad Toy Store. And you can find them if you look underneath Fresh Monkey Fiction. And again, these figures do start out at $36.99, and they will be shipping sometime, I believe, at the end of this year into early next year. Next line is also another that was brought up through Kickstarter. These are the Almighty Collection, I believe is what the names of these are. These are particular figures are based off of angels. So it's going to give you just a different feel. Again, with action figures and these creators who are pretty much creating their own worlds, it's just an awesome opportunity to see some different figures that you might not have seen. The figure that I have highlighted here is Azrael. These particular figures will come with wings. Again, it's called the Almighty Legends, as well as a number of different accessories and head sculpts. These are amazing looking figures, and this should just be the start of this particular wave. These figures do start out at $54.99. And with Azrael, you're also going to get Gabriel. So you have the light and the dark of these archangels. And again, they're going to come with some great accessories that you can pick up. Again, you can find these on Big Bad Toy Store currently for pre-order. The next line is Combatants Fight for Glory. This is a mix of just kind of think Mythic Legions meets Gladiators. So there's a couple of different figures that you can pick up depending on what different styles you may like. I do particularly love the big Gladiator style animal figures, as well as some of the female Gladiator figures are awesome. But for the Roman legions, I think that's the one that really was speaking to me the most. If you're a fan of Gladiator at all, you'll see some of these particular figures and say, dang, I need to pick some of these up. You can find these figures, again, on either Big Bad Toy Store or 5K Toys. Prices on these do start out at $59.99 and do go up from there. This is Task Force Ranger. This is a military figure style, 6-inch or 1/12 scale figures that do come with soft goods. So if you are a fan of Mezco or even Hot Toys, these particular figures give you a new military range of figures to collect. A number of different accessories from rifle types to either hats, vests, different things like that. Again, with these particular figures, these are a higher priced set. I believe for all 6 of them, they're priced out at $430. But again, I think it's also, these are those high-end collecting figures that folks may want to check out. You can find these on 5K Toys. It's a great website for 1/12 scale action figures if you want to look for just different things to fill out your collections. And that will do it for Yo Joe June 2nd here at the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. Hopefully I didn't take you guys down too many new rabbit holes or spend any more of your money. But I do think it's important to kind of call out just some of the other creators that are making some amazing figures out there and give folks a choice. Maybe finding either a new figure or just sharing with maybe somebody else that you may know that would like these. I hope you guys are having a great night, day, morning, wherever you're at on the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. And enjoy Yo Joe June. Thanks, guys.